So, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for the first installment, as Anna mentioned, of Rebuilding Alliance's I Care About Peace series in honor of the International Day of Peace. The International Day of Peace is a day that is recognized around the world as a day to call for an end to violence, to reflect on what peace requires, and to recommit ourselves to building a more peaceful, just, and compassionate world. And this year, that focus is especially significant. We're here not only to celebrate and highlight peace in all its forms, but also to confront the realities that challenge it, particularly in Gaza, where families continue to be affected by violence, displacement, and unimaginable hardship. And yet, even in these circumstances, people go on. They continue to care for one another. The teachers on this call continue to create spaces where children can learn and play and express themselves, to imagine something beyond war. And that is part of what Pinwheels for Peace represents. So, Pinwheels for Peace is a global art installation and psychosocial activity that invites students to explore what peace means to them through creative expression. Normally, Rebuilding Alliance brings youth to share their visions of peace with Congress directly, and we've seen how effective that is. But now, with the blocks on visas for Palestinians, that isn't possible. And so we decided to bring their voices both to you and to Congress virtually. And with the scale of the emergency across Palestine, we knew that one event would not be sufficient. So we've chosen to make it a series, highlighting the voices of youth and their visions of peace across Palestine, with the first installation highlighting the youth of Gaza, who are continuing to learn and imagine a future despite extraordinary circumstances, along with the educators who are creating the spaces for these youth. So thank you again for being here, for engaging with the realities that we'll hear about today, and for working with us to turn that engagement into action. I'll first begin with Donna, Rebuilding Alliance's Executive Director. I'll hand it over to you.
Great, thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our first in what will be a series of webinars, and it is the 10th annual time that we've used this project and brought this forward. So really great to have this opportunity. I'm the one who helped start this in 2008 when we faced the possible demolition at that time of a kindergarten and the entire village in the West Bank. And so it was the challenge of we did help them take this to court. They would be facing the Israeli High Court after 4 years of waiting, and the anxiety was so high inside the little village, with the children especially. And how could we as adults prevail and keep the place standing, keep them safe? In the end, it worked, and it was amazing. I moved my office to Rebuilding Alliance's office to a tent in front of the Palo Alto City Hall. And from that, people, especially Rotarians, called and said they would help teach me how to walk the halls of Congress. And that really made a difference. Bringing the photos of children, it was Hueda from ISM who went to El Aqaba to do pinwheels with the children, the older children, the younger children. The photos, when I brought them to Congress, they were my posters from my tent, and I was able to roll them out on the floor in front of them. Um, all of that is some of the legacy of this program, and it's the transition of your words as audience, as constituents to Congress that can begin their understanding of why peace is important, what young people value, how can we as adults represent those values and bring them forward. So without any further ado, I am happy to bring this back to my colleagues and ask Mr. Rafiq, our Gaza program manager, to set the stage. Really important for you to know that his position, his engagement on peacemaking has been strong from the time he was a young person when he was chosen as a delegate to Hiroshima to visit there at the invitation of the government of Japan in a delegation that included people from Israel, young people from Israel, as well as from Palestine. So thank you, Mr. Rafiq. Please go ahead.
Thank you,
And
Donna. Thank you, everyone, for this opportunity. And Assalamu alaikum from Gaza, Dar al Balah. Good morning for the people who have a morning there. Good evening for the people who have an evening. I'm here with full pleasure to talk while our heart is breaking for the current situation in Gaza since 3 years, where we are facing the most horrible days. Children have nothing to look for, and older people have nothing to live for. Young generation has no future. But in spite of all these facts, we try to make it converted from all negativity to positivity by creating a new potential, creating a new potential for the people, for these children. So this, you can see that we tried to make a little activity like with Pinwheels for the youth and the children of Gaza to make them believe in peace. You cannot imagine 3 years of harsh war on Gaza, but we still talk about peace. We still believe in peace. We still send messages to the whole world. And we all in Gaza now are expecting the board of peace to come and try to help people in Gaza to recover through early recovery, through reconstruction, through development. So we have the hope of the word of peace as it is the word peace. And if we look at the word peace, the first letter is P, and people, the first letter is P. So people and peace are something integrated and should be in all matters. I am a person who is looking for a peaceful world, equitable world, and to have justice everywhere. I have been around various countries in the world, but as Ms. Donna mentioned, that one of my distinguished visits were to Hiroshima and Tokyo in Japan in a young leadership program where Palestinians and Israelis were together to discuss the future opportunities for peace. And my words usually there, why should we fly all these miles to sit together and talk while we are neighbors? We are in the same region. 10 minutes we can be together. So that visit was very distinguished. And I am happy that some of the Israelis who were in that visit, they are like in a very big positions, like one is a mayor, one is a Knesset member, one is a consul, one is a private sector company, big company, one is a journalist, Raviv Drucker. So these people, we were together and we talked. So we take this opportunity to ask everyone to help the Palestinians have the chance to talk, to express themselves. Why should we only be seen in the world as just people for death? People are going to be killed while we can be people to build. And we are here in the Rebuilding Alliance with the vision of rebuilding. We want to rebuild the person, the human. We want to rebuild the house. The house is the easiest way to be rebuilt. If we rebuild the human being is the most important. The human being is the most important factor in development in the world. And we are so proud of all of you, dear participants or dear guests, that you put us on your agenda, put this webinar on your agenda, and you are here to listen and hear from the people in Gaza. We have the most exciting experience to talk about. You cannot imagine when we were serving hot meals project here, we were serving it in 30 kitchens all over the Gaza Strip while there was bombing every minute. And we were very passionate about what we are doing. Even there was a high risk, but all of us want to be part of feeding people. And we were honored to serve 22.4 million hot meals for the needy people in Gaza Strip. Also, we try our best now to help people who have no source of income through the Gaza Giving Card. We ask and help by marketing this project to get donors to buy things for these families, and we provide it for them in a very dignified way. And we always keep an eye on the needs of people. And some of the people who or the donors who say it is for whom in need. So we try to put the criteria to choose who are in need. Even a lot of people in Gaza are in need, but we try to put the criteria to gain the attention and the respect and the appreciation from the donor themselves to see how transparent we are. To shortly the situation in Gaza, with the scale up of targeting and bombing during the last few days, still very dangerous, still so hard for the people to talk openly about peace. But we wanted to start with the young generation, with the children, with youth, to make them suitable for a new mindset. We want to mind shift them for the culture of peace. We have supported 5 families with a temporary shelter or transitional shelter, like a good living conditions. You cannot imagine that the families, their mental health has been improved when they moved into this. And one word I cannot forget, when the lady said, since 3 years, we never had a door to lock, but now, luckily, we have a door to lock and we have privacy. We have our own washroom, our own toilet. I saw one child holding a cat, a kitten, and playing with it because we have helped them for a better life. So the message, we want the whole world to know about it, that we are a human being first. We need people to see us as a human and we have needs. And in order to have a real peace in the whole region, people should live in similar conditions. People should live in the, like, at least to compare each other to have similar life. And I want
Thank you.
to,
Let's make sure we get like we want to get to our guests, the young
yeah,
people and all.
thank you, Donna. But I wanted to end my word with one lesson we've learned in the visit to Hiroshima, that when we stayed one night in a Buddhist temple there, Palestinians and Israelis, with a very cold night in Japan, and for the first time, we started to talk to each other when we lived under the same situation and the same conditions. Thank you so much. And I'm proud of the youth who will be talking about their experience in peace. And thank you so much. And thank you from Dar al Balah. Thank you.
Really appreciate this. I know that yesterday's in their meeting, a bomb went off very close to where you were at your office and blocked all of the sound. It was the hitting the masjid, the mosque nearby. Just good that you can come through this and everyone there. Back to you, Nisreen.
Yes, thank you so much, Rafiq, for that informative and deeply moving insight on the current situation in Gaza. Understanding these realities is crucial. And now that we've heard about kind of the scale of the challenges, I want to shift our focus to how we can respond. Normally, you have the action at the end, but we want to make sure that we have every single person on the line sending in this action. And so, to answer the question, what can we actually do? So before we turn to our speakers from across Gaza, I want to take a moment to let you know about one concrete action that you can take today that can directly help children and families in Gaza. When we talk about peace, peace is often discussed in very broad terms, right? But some of the most critical pillars to peace are the things that can't wait for peace agreements. Things like safety, education, food, health. And this is one area in particular where members of Congress can play a very important role in helping patients in Gaza access medical care, while also pushing to help rebuild the capacity of Gaza's healthcare system. So I want to tell you briefly about one child in particular that everyone on this call today can do to help her. 5-year-old Mira needs emergency medical care for a severe but treatable condition. Augusta Victoria in East Jerusalem on the Mount of Olives has accepted Mira for treatment and is ready to receive her. All she needs is permission. Earlier this summer, her 11-year-old brother Siraj was suffering from the same condition and was also waiting for approval to medically evacuate. He tragically passed away on June 8th. But there's still time to help Mira, so she doesn't have to wait for the same outcome. And we know that Mira is not alone. She's one of around 4,000 children and approximately 18,500 patients in Gaza waiting for medical evacuation because the specialized care that they need is not available to them inside of Gaza. Just a few miles away, hospitals in the West Bank and the 6 hospitals that make up the East Jerusalem hospital network are ready and willing to treat these patients. The humanitarian pathway connecting patients in Gaza with hospitals in East Jerusalem and the West Bank has provided care to Palestinians for decades with long-standing substantial United States support. So this pathway needs to be reopened. But reopening this pathway is just one part of restoring Gaza's healthcare system. At the same time, Palestinian healthcare workers who could help restore the devastated health system are being unlawfully held in Israeli detention without charges, without trial. And these healthcare workers need to be released so they can return to their patients and so they can help rebuild Gaza's healthcare system. Restoring that system is also going to require access to the medicine, the medical supplies, the equipment, all of these things that are needed to provide care inside of Gaza. And it requires lifting the blockade and opening borders so that essential supplies and qualified medical teams can enter to support and relieve the healthcare workers who are there. These are all things that Congress can and should push for. And so we've made it very easy for you to take action. You should see a link to the Action Network campaign in the chat and also the QR code on the screen. If you're a US constituent, I encourage you to take a couple of minutes right now to fill it out and send the message directly to your representative and senators on behalf of Mira and on behalf of all the patients in Gaza. The message is already drafted, so you don't need to write everything from scratch. But something that we've learned is that if you change the text inside the body of the email, even just to add a paragraph introducing yourself, it can get around the sorting algorithms and ensure that your message is actually read in its entirety. I cannot emphasize enough how much your voice as a constituent matters and how much of an impact that it can have. Members of Congress really do pay attention to requests from constituents, especially when there's a specific concrete ask like this. So I'll give you all a moment to take action now, and then we'll turn to our youth from across Gaza, from Gaza City, Khan Younis, Al Mawasi, alongside their educators.
I think we should just go ahead with the young people right away. And everyone in the background, you can fill out the form, but let's go ahead with our speakers, if you would.
Yeah, so joining us from Gaza City, we have Naveen, a remarkable English teacher with the Vision Society. Naveen, do you want to go ahead?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Yes, please. I'm Naveen. I am an English teacher from Gaza City. I'm here with you. It's my honor to talk about what we have been doing for the past couple of days, especially that we've been participating in Wheels for Peace activity for a number of years now. So, as part of my work in the humanitarian sector, I have been educating and stuff. And this year as well, we have been honored to do this with them as well. So, we run a TLS, which is a temporary learning space in Gaza City, because all of the schools in Gaza Strip now, there are no regular schools, just spaces where we provide education. Most of these efforts are spontaneous and self-driven. They are not organized in any way whatsoever. We do our best to give basic subjects to our students so that they can be upgraded a year after year. So yesterday and the day before, we gathered a number of our students to do the Pinwheels activity with them so they can talk about their vision of peace and how they see the future of Gaza. That's my daughter with the curly hair in the picture, by the way. Uh, so we've been teaching them how to talk about their visions of peace and what they are willing to do and how they see their futures. So many pictures and so many ideas from their little hearts and huge hope came out, and some of them drove us to tears. Some of the messages that the students shared with us and wrote and drew in their pinwheels is that they're happy that they have survived, but they don't want to lose any other family members. Some of them wished that they could keep living in safety and stop being afraid all the time. Some of them said that all they want and all they hope for is just to play and learn safely. Some of them dreamed that Gaza would be back to the way it was before the war, a beautiful, beautiful city. And some of them even wished that the war hasn't happened at all and everything just remained the way it was. They drew their dreams on their paper and folded them into this beautiful pinwheel, and they shared all of their experience. Their hopes and dreams are not just theirs, it's ours as adults as well. I'm honored to here today to bring three of our students who are a little bigger of the students you can see in the pictures, who are willing to speak about their visions of peace. I have Yazan, Lamar, and Ra'a on the line. Maybe we can start with Yazan.
Well, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to stand before you today and share a story that represents the reality of so many people. I don't only speak to you just to represent myself, but I speak to you as someone who's deeply committed to finding a way out of it. I would love to start with a story or sharing a story of my family, of our history with war. So in 1948, my grandparents were forcibly expelled from our village. I never lived in my own home village. Since the day I was born, I was labeled as a refugee. My grandparents came to Gaza, and we and so many other refugees in Gaza rebuilt our lives again in Gaza. We made it home. We lived through all the dire conditions that Israel put Gaza under. We built communities. We accommodated ourselves and carried on with our lives. We loved Gaza with all of our hearts. But 3 years ago, the war that took that away from us, the war that started took that away from us. The war destroyed the streets we knew, the memories we made, and the lives we had pieced back together. Israel took away the open air present they seized us in. We were left with the heavy grief of losing our home all over again, forced into a state of survival that no human being should ever have to endure. But the war of 1948, in my opinion, is the best. We cannot stay trapped in history. We should we should start looking for we shouldn't be looking backward while our present falls apart. We must work in the present to build a joint and brighter future for everyone. We deserve these more than anything else in the world. So us ordinary people are exhausted by violence, the constant fear, and the endless loss. In my opinion, the only approach for true peace is to talking to one another. We need joint conversation conferences between Palestinians and Israelis, not only abroad but also in our homeland. This is the only way, in my opinion, to shorten the massive gap between our nations. Because, in my opinion, again, when people sit in the same room, they can finally look at one another and humanize each other in their own eyes. They really realize that the person sitting across from them also wants safety and quiet life. So, and also lasting peace only works when it's built on justice and equality. That means giving Palestinians their basic human rights. It means recognizing our dignity and granting us simple freedom and freedom to travel beyond our borders and to see the world, just like anyone else. We don't want to pass down the label of refugees to another generation of children, but we want them to hold passports and to have a true home. Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking with us. And I just want to mention, Yazan, before we started the webinar, that you've been in Chicago. You were part of a State Department
Yeah.
program that brought you to the U.S. Just do you want to?
I'm sorry, I was a little bit stressed, honestly.
Well done, though. Really great to hear your
And
voice.
actually, there's something else I would love to add. Going to Chicago, traveling abroad, seeing a river firsthand, a mountain, seeing a forest, that's all a privilege. Like the biggest majority of Gazans have never been outside the strip, including my very own brother. My brother is approaching his 30th, and he has never been outside of Gaza. He had never met anyone from outside of Palestine. He had never seen a river, had never seen a mountain, a forest. He has no clue about how does the world look like. And to me, traveling is a privilege, and it shouldn't be. It should be a human right. It should be something that we all have for granted.
It's really important. Thank you so much. Let's go on to your colleague.
تفضلي لمار تفضلي.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm very happy to be here and discuss and talk about peace and how we can help Gaza to be again, how we can find ways to build Gaza and focusing also on children and families. When we talk to 18, and most of them they didn't choose schools with their children. It means a classroom with a roof instead, body bags. It means a bad for the future while ignoring the children. It's a moral duty. Healing Gaza starts with healing its children, and because how much children are very important and how much the focus on children, because I feel that they are the future and youth also are the future. So how we can heal Gaza, how we can help Gaza to heal again, how we can rebuild Gaza. It's very good that and it's amazing that we are here discussing how we can heal Gaza again. So children and families are, when we want to rebuild and we want to heal Gaza, we're starting with children and youth. So war takes like a child schools, war takes a child home, war takes a child's sense of safety. But the worst thing war takes is a child's belief that tomorrow will be better. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lamar. How do you come to learn English so well?
What? I didn't hear. تعرف اللغة؟ Well, honestly,
نهار
I
كيف
would say,
اتعلمتي انجليزي وبتحكي كويس كل هالقد؟
well, honestly, I learned English by myself in the war in 2024. Everything was because I stayed in the north, so there was nothing to do. So I learned how I can help my community by talking about my story, my day, and someone else talk about my story. So I focused on myself that I want to learn English, and I started and a few steps by myself without like going to places or something like this. And then it started with saving vocabulary, listening, hearing, shadowing, so all that, so I can my childhood. So it's also a good step for me, and my family supports me because
Thank you. It's great to hear from you. And everyone, you're hearing this sound is cutting in and out. The young people have walked a long way to reach a cafe that's open. It wasn't easy, and we weren't quite sure that we'd have any connection at all. So
yes,
we really are very appreciative that you're on, and what a good job. Keep learning.
thank
It's
you
so
so much.
exciting to hear your voice.
Your word is highly appreciated. Thank you.
Let's go to Ru'a. Ru'a, please go ahead.
Hi
I hope
there,
the
I'm
line
Mira.
doesn't break up. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm Mira, a 19 years old student, a dentistry student at Al Azhar University. When I think about peace, I don't think of it simply of the absence of war. For me, peace means creating a society where people feel safe enough to speak, listen, disagree, and still see each other as human beings. And I believe young people have a central role in that. So we are often described as the generation that needs to be protected, supported, or given opportunities. But I also believe we are a generation. Right? We are a generation capable of creating those opportunities and contributing to the healing of our communities. This is something I try to practice through the work I do with young people. Through my work, I just funded the first language and cultural community in Gaza City, which is Bolivera. I just created this space where young people can develop their communications and leadership skills, practice dialogue and debate, or maybe just doing a podcast episode or these kind of things, and just we connecting through language and culture and with native speakers and this kind of things. So this may seem like simple activities, but I believe they are part of something much bigger, teaching young people how to communicate with people who may think differently from them, how to listen and how to express disagreement without turning it into hostility. So that's what I think about community service that I just offer to my community right now in Gaza. I also try to use writing, culture, and youth-led projects as a way to give young people a voice and a sense that they can still create something meaningful, even in extremely difficult circumstances. So for me, this is what beach building can look like at the community level. It's not always a large political agreement to a meeting between governments. Sometimes it being with a young people sitting together, listening to each other, working on something together, and realizing that they can build something instead of simply inherent conflict. So I just want to continue being part of this process. I don't want young people in Gaza to be remembered only as a generation that survived war. I just want us to be recognized as a generation that helped create a different future. Because healing is not about forgetting what happened. It's about making sure that what happened does not decide what happened next. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening, guys.
Thank you so much for your words, and really good to hear from you. Best wishes with Bolivera Language and Cultural Center. What an exciting project that you've taken on.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Nasreen. Nasreen, do you want to open questions, or where do you go from here on our schedule?
While we have Yazan, Lamar, and Ru'a here, I think we can, if there are specific questions directed for them, people can put them in the chat.
So we hope that we're inviting you back again to speak to members of Congress. Every week for the next 8 weeks or so, we will be having a different neighborhood and village throughout the West Bank and this one starting in Gaza. But at the end of this period, it's International Day of Peace. And a little before that or a little after that, we'll have a webinar that will include members of Congress and their staff on the call. So thinking about what you would want Congress to do, how you would want them to look at Gaza, we'll invite you back to do that. And you're certainly welcome to think about those policy changes, on that practical level. We found that we ask them for very specific things because they don't seem to be able to do big things yet. But big things and small things can come up. And audience, hopefully if you have any questions for the young people.
Yeah, we did get a few questions. The first one, how do you maintain hope? And how do you find the strength to stay optimistic? I think the two can go together.
How we stay optimistic?
Yeah.
Which question should we start with?
How do you maintain hope, and how do you find the strength to stay optimistic?
Well, it's a human nature, I believe. It's how we are created. We try to find the simplest joy in everything, in every simple moment. That's a survival mechanism, in my opinion. And we want to survive. We want to create a nation. And basically, in order to create a nation, we must stay optimistic.
And I think also it's also because, as Yasin said, it's a nature, like a person nature, but also because in Gaza we feel like I need to do something for me and also for my society. For me as Lamar, I hate to stay home without doing anything, and most of youth here in Gaza are the same. We have to do something. We have at least to do something in our day to learn something. At the end of the week, I said that I did this. Why? Because I feel we are living in a place that we don't know if I'm gonna at which age I'm gonna be living, and how this war in any second will come back, and how this war in any second will do something bad for me or my family. So I feel like I need to do something. When something happened for me, no, I did something. I did what I have to do, and I tried my best to help myself and help my society. When in war, throughout the war, because we weren't like able to move, we weren't able to do anything, so we stayed at our home. Even staying in our home, we were doing something, we were learning something, and we were trying to improve ourselves. Even that we were like the destruction was around us all the time. Everything was around us, the pumping everywhere. So but at the end we were like, there's something inside us told us, you have the motivation enough to continue even in the hardest circumstances. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Really inspiring for all of us to hold on to, and good to see.
Yeah, so some more of the comments, just so that you guys are aware. Kathleen says she's advocating for a true justice in Palestine every day. She wants you to know that you teach us so much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard.
Sorry?
United Flight 2664 with service
I think
to...
someone, if you're not one of the speakers, please mute. Yeah. And then we got another question, and you all might need to unmute. How did you learn such excellent English?
Oh, that's a good one. Me, I belong to an English-speaking family. I have a cousin that had freshly graduated from Harvard. I have family in America. My sister was an exchange student too. My father, he speaks C2 English, so it's kind of inherited.
For me, I think my father was supporting me so much because he's speaking like two languages, which is English and French. So when he was like having meeting with someone and talking English, I was like, no, I need to know how he have the ability to talk like this and to speak and express his feelings and what is happening and everything in English. So he was supporting me to learn, and I found the ability that no, I can learn, that the ability to understand how English, I can understand English, how can I speak English, and it just needs the motivation, and that's it.
Actually, for me, I just learned four languages, and I just find this in myself that I truly love learning a new language, and I'm just looking forward to learn a new language. So I just find myself like I love these things, and I truly trying my best to learn myself these kind of things. So yeah, that's it.
Roa, how do you hold on to hope and to optimism?
Sorry?
For Roa, how do you hold on to hope and optimism? You hadn't answered the question.
Okay, living in Gaza just make you forced to deal with that and make like you don't know what waiting you for in the future. So you do everything in Gaza just to improve yourself, to do something that you can be like good when yourself inside your heart. Like if you want to work or to do something in Gaza, you have not to wait until you maybe travel outside it, because you don't know when will you do this. So we're just trying to do whatever we can done in these days, because as Lamar said and she mentioned that we don't know what waiting for us in the next years. So maybe that's it. And I don't like to sit at home and doing nothing. I just love work, serve my community, and do a lot of things. That's make me happy. So yes.
Much appreciated. Thank you. Back to you, Nasreen.
Yeah, so we also have Talal with Youth Vision Society in Gaza City. Talal, are you with us?
Super inspired.
Yeah, I'm surely
Yeah.
here.
Perfect. I wanted to give you a chance to also speak and tell us about your vision of peace.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start by introducing myself. My name is Talal. I'm 20 years old, a computer science student at the Islamic University of Gaza, and I myself was one of the people who was benefited from the things that America gave to people in Gaza. I was one of the Access 15 alumni in Gaza in the Access 15 micro scholarship program that was provided by the U.S. Affairs and Education USA to people in Gaza, to youths in Gaza. And for me, I really appreciate the things that America did for us in Gaza even before the war. Most of the shares and most of the donations that were made to UNRWA, for example, were actually coming from America. And also about peace, for me, during the war, the biggest impact that it had on me was actually realizing that all of my dreams and hopes are just tangled to something that is not existent. Um, Waking up every day realizing that you're alive and that's the best thing that would happen in your day, just for being alive. And actually, during the war, at the start of the war, I was shortlisted for a program in America, an exchange program for a year and a half about cultural exchange and about cultural exchange. But 3 days after, I was given an email saying we apologize because the affairs unit does not work in Gaza anymore. So I was really dampened and I was really mad and for losing this opportunity. And I hope in the future I would have an opportunity to speak with you guys more about peace and about my culture. I love talking to you guys so much. And I hope that in the future we would have more and more of these talks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Talal. And you're with Tariq?
Hello, everyone. My name is Tariq. I'm Talal's brother. His older brother. I'm 26 years old. Actually, I am a computer science graduate. Uh, we come from a family that loves technology so much, so it's a part of our DNA. During the war, uh, I have faced many things. Including the losses that everyone endured during the war. We also were faced with a lot of opportunities that opened up so many things for us. I had the chance to work as a volunteer and a part of humanitarian missions here in Gaza through Youth Vision Society and other local NGOs here in Gaza. Uh, from my experience as someone who has been interested in working with youth and and young adults such as myself, uh, I saw peace in giving back to the community, basically. My vision of peace has always been the same. It's not the things that you believe in, it's the things that you do. Um, what you can do to offer peace for people who have been faced with such atrocities that that they endured here in Gaza. Um, Basically, I always wanted to benefit from the from a chance to have a voice that will be heard, and I hope that these sessions will be a beacon of hope for everyone here in Gaza and in Palestine in general, and also to the entire world that faces atrocities and faces war and faces everything. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me and for giving us the ability to share our thoughts. And I hope that we can talk again and again for the foreseeable future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We're really grateful to have you both on the line with us. How do you come by your English? Both Talal and Tarek, you're in the same family. What, how did you learn English like this?
So we also come from a family that loves languages and loves learning. My mother and father are actually people who can speak English, Arabic, and even Romanian, and a bit of Latin. So for myself, growing up, movies and TV shows that are not in my language are a thrill to me. So I was granted the opportunity to be one of the Access 15 in the micro scholarship program provided by the US Affairs. It was a year and a half program that taught us how to learn English and how to speak like other people. I started the program with the level of B1, and I graduated from the program with the level of C1 plus in English. So that's how I learned English in Gaza.
Tarek always also speaks French, Turkish,
Yes.
and
Uh,
English.
I can I can speak four languages: English, French, Turkish, and obviously Arabic. I have always had interest in English since I was young. Basically, the main reason I fell in love with English was, first of all, my English teacher in eighth grade. He gave me the chance and gave me a platform, so to speak, to 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 improve my English, and also Friends, the TV show.
Oh,
I fell in love with it so much that I basically watched it over and over and over again until I had good English, basically. So yeah, it was the epitome of my English. I've learned to speak French. I have a level of B2 in it. I also have Turkish level C2. So yeah, I can speak multiple languages in fluently. So yeah, thank you so much.
I just want to mention that you'd spoken about Youth Vision Society and how what an important place it is that all along you've been helping around society, helping others. Youth Vision has been part of Rebuilding Alliance's partner group for nearly 10 years, we realized on the call earlier before the call started. So many thanks to Naveen, to all of the team at Youth Vision Society for their incredible work. And I want the audience to know that Youth Vision, Naveen's family, we did this last year in our 9th annual youth program, I Care About Peace, the Pinwheels project. The team, the young people who made their pinwheels and recorded their dreams, talking about that last day of when all of Gaza City was forced to evacuate. They'd all stayed there, and Naveen's family up until like maybe the last days, and then returned as quickly as they could and rebuilt the library that the children were using for the project in making the pinwheels. Just
Yes.
big shout out to all of that.
Thank you. Thank you, Donna. Tariq is the person who is responsible for the library now.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Really great. And we look forward to joining many rebuilding projects and the recovery of Gaza City, of all of Gaza, and one by one, step by step. We're very much, Rebuilding Alliance is very much part of that. And we look forward to joining Youth Vision in your efforts.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Nasreen, do you want to take us to the Younis team? Are they still on the line with us? Hopefully, our challenge is the internet.
Yes, I believe we have Mrs. Najah and Meha on the line.
Welcome, Mrs. Najah. Please go ahead.
Hello, how are you?
Alhamdulillah,
Nice to
we're
be with
good.
you. Alhamdulillah. I'm Najah Hayash, the assistant of Women Program Center.
Can
I
you
have
turn
many.
on your camera? See if you can turn on
What?
your camera. Can you, if you can, turn on your camera. If not, keep going. No problem.
Yeah, I will. I'm assistant of the Women Program Center for 20 years ago. So we may have many activities and projects to help the people, especially our project with the RA. The big project was Women's Mrs. Najah Kitchen. We have this project for the children, the youth. It was with Maha, some girls, and they talking about their dreams and wrote it to make the kites, and they hope the peace will be in this area and to return to our home. And so thank you for everyone who helped us and support us to be like in peace and to continue our life by have dignity and have safety with our families in our area. And we are from Rafah, and as you know, we leave Rafah from May 20, 200 and 23, 023. And we're working for the people homeless in Al Mawasi area. We help them by many projects with RA, like the kitchen, the food, support the people by food and the basket food and clothes. But the amazing activities was with the children who sent messages for all the world to help them to live in peace. Thank you for everyone here. Support us, believe in us, and trust in us. Thank you.
Yes, just for everyone's awareness, Mrs. Najah is the head of the Women's Program Center, Rafah, which currently operates out of Khan Younis, and she has led the Women's Program Center for over 22 years. And she's really kind of this has enabled her to be a trusted aide and advisor to many Palestinian communities. Several of the youth were going to join us from the Women's Program Center. They did the Pinwheels activity, um, both students from Al Mawasi and Khan Younis. But because of some technical difficulties, as is the reality, we were not able to have them join us today. Um, is Maha on the line? Yes. Maha is an English
Yeah,
teacher, yeah, who's been working for Rebuilding Alliance since 2019. And she's worked with the Women's Program Center and continues to find ways to teach and connect with the children despite extraordinary circumstances. Maha, please go ahead.
thank you, Nasreen. I'm so pleased and so happy that I'm one of the members here. And this is honor for me, actually. Thank you all for joining us with the Building Alliance. I'm Maha Isa, an English language teacher. I have been working with the Rebuilding Alliance since 2019. I have been working as a teacher till the 7th of October 2023. Everything was stopped, the schools, teaching, learning, everything in our life was stopped. And this is not actually the big problem. The big and relentless challenge for us was evacuation. When we evacuated from Rafah in May 2024, this is the harsh realities for our life, because we start to live in a tent, from May 2024 till this moment. We start to live in a tent, and living in a tent. And living in a tent is not just a temporary hardship, but it's a daily struggle for survival. Our daily life is filled with many challenges. I don't know if you want to hear about this or not, or just talking about Pinwheels. What do
I
you
think
think, Nasreen?
I think Maha, can you
Yeah.
turn on your camera? Is there a way you can show us what's around you? You're inside your tent right now, right? You're calling
Yeah.
from home. And
Yeah.
Maha's a new mother also, like just all the challenges
I'm so
of all of
sorry.
them.
It's in Maghreb, so there is no electricity. This is one of the challenges at this day faced us with the kids. So they didn't join us because there is no electricity, and
Yeah,
this is my tent. I can show you more if you want.
much appreciated. I think that it's the challenge of getting through. And the different times that we've done our best to help. I'm glad your little one is feeling
Yeah.
better now, but visiting the hospital just recently was part of that also.
Yeah. Because the lack of proper sanitation and clean our surroundings. My little baby, when she is 6 months, she suffer from chicken pox, such harsh dishes, and this is hurts me a lot to be so helpless against epidemics, and almost every child here suffer constantly from unknown scratches and high fevers and viral infections. All of this is a big challenges for our life. Also,
So how did you
I can talk too much. Yeah,
how did you
yeah,
lead
Mrs. Donna.
how did you lead the children? Because you were leading the activity at the Women Program
Yeah.
Center. What was this
Well,
like for you? And also you get to be their voice because we don't have them on. So what did they say? How did you lead it? Where did you start?
when we start, we ask them just one question. What does peace mean for you all? You know, peace, mess, peace. We don't live in peace. Mess, we don't have peace. Mess, we want to live in peace. We want. Okay, kids. What does peace mean for you? Some of them uh, response that we want save to be safe. We want home, not tent. We want to wake up on mother's voice, not bombings. We want a sky with birds, voice of birds, not voice of airstrikes or bombings or something like that. We want to walk on the street freely without any fear. We want to return our home, our city. We want to return our friends. All of these was messages from the kids in Khan Younis, in Women's Program Center. And also when I asked them, please send message for the world. They told me and answered, save our childhood, save us, stop war. This is the big message for the whole world. Please stop war. We don't want to live in these harsh conditions, in these harsh daily realities. We want to live in peace. We want to go every day to school. We want to play. We want to go to gardens. This was the messages from the kids.
Oh, thank you.
Also, I want to mention about something you asked about. Ask the student here, Yazan, Lamar, and Roa, how did they learn English? Or how their English is
Yeah,
very
yes, please. How did you learn
important.
English?
I want to, yeah. I want to tell you something about the kids and the students in Gaza. We have MDs, we have lessons, levels of learning English for all kids from from sixth to the end, from 6 years old to the end. So you can find a lot of kids and students very excellent. This is strange for us.
It's fantastic.
And also the
And
hope.
thank you.
The hope.
Yes.
How does you have the hope? Yeah, the hope. We have faith inside us. Faith to continue. Faith to be stronger and stronger, and just continue to learn, continue to teach, continue to do, continue to work every time, every single and if we don't do that, we'll alone. So we must have hope. Hope lives in the details. Simple details transforms everything.
It's
That's
really
it.
important. It's and so inspiring for all of us to hear. Oh man, keep going and maybe find ways to reach our leaders
Thank
and
you.
bring that peace that's so desperately needed. Thank you. Maha, when did you start learning English? Like you're an English teacher. How did this come about for you? I've never asked you this. We've known each other a long time. When did you start?
It's not hard for me to uh, actually I started learning English in the university, but before university I love English, and also I can tell you secrets, and all of you, my dream was to be a doctor, not an English language teacher. But when I was 18, the conditions is not going well, so I have learned English language teacher. That's it.
No wonder. You're so talented in not only the
Thank you.
language teaching, but in project development. Maha's often evaluating projects with us. We're looking forward to all of that and the work to come. Thank you so much. Um, Questions from the audience for
You are
the
welcome.
Younis team. Are there things you'd like to bring forward? Go ahead. And also, we do have these really great photos and film of the process of the Pinwheels for Peace project. Another part of what we can share and show. We do. Thank you, everyone, for being on the call. We promised that it might last a little bit longer, and certainly appreciate that opportunity. Nasreen, do you think we could open the floor for questions or for comments from our audience?
Sure.
So if you'd like to raise your hand, we can open this for you to speak directly. And you might talk about what you're working on, or how do you bring peace forward for Gaza, for Palestine in your daily life, in your advocacy. More than welcome to mention this. And what would you say to inspire our speakers? Anyone on the line want to go ahead? Great, Lisa. And can we open Lisa? Yes. And we can't hear you. I can see you speaking, and it looks like you're not muted, but your sound isn't coming through. So you might have to write down your thoughts, Lisa. Anyone else want to step in? I saw Frank on the line. Oh, go ahead, Gretchen, please.
Assalamu alaikum. It's nice to see everybody. I was fortunate enough to be part of the leadership learning mission that came to Palestine back in August of 2022, and I really learned a lot. And I just really enjoyed hearing all of the speakers today and all that they're doing with school and to continue learning. And I was really inspired by everybody. And I hope that by our being here, that we can also be an inspiration to one another, and just continue to show up and continue to write the letters. I'm part of Doctors Against Genocide, so I go with my 13-year-old son to Congress, and we meet with our representatives and our senators to try to advocate for Palestine. And just this morning, I was at and I got the opportunity to speak wearing my Palestine bracelet that I got on that leadership learning mission trip. and I bought it from a little boy on that trip, and it just everything that I did, I wanted to only spend my money in Palestine, and it was just special. It was at our Board of County Commissioners meeting to advocate against the ICE facility here in Hagerstown, Maryland. But I'm always trying to bring Palestine into my daily life and continue to speak about it and to spread my knowledge as much as I can. And I want to
Thank you
thank
so
Donna.
much. Great
Yes,
to
thank
have,
you so
great to
much.
see you again, Gretchen, and it's really good that you're on the line with us. And
Thank you.
let's take these important messages from the young people forward.
Hello.
Much appreciated. And Lisa, are you able to get your audio? If so, go ahead.
Yeah, I just switched over
Yes,
to
good,
my
works.
Wonderful. Okay, first of all, thank you so much for speaking and being such an inspiration. Um, what my question, well, first of all, my name is Lisa Ricari. I work with I don't know if you can see, but Democrats for Palestinian Rights Bay Area. We work I'm part of a group that works within the Democrat Party to push at the more local levels for recognition of genocide in Gaza, of the different things that Palestinians are having to deal with on a daily basis. I've been to the West Bank twice now, once as protective presence, and the second time to visit friends. I'm continually inspired by the spirit, and I have to say humbled when I hear you thank us. I almost want to cry because it is our country, it is the people who we elect as representatives that are supporting what is being done to you. And so hearing you thank us, it feels almost heavy, like a very heavy responsibility. I think what I would like to know is what um what kinds of things can individuals do here? What are some of the effective things that you find that people can do here to connect and with the people of Gaza um, and with people of Palestine in general? What are some things that you find particularly helpful and inspirational from us that we can do more of?
So there's certainly ways to respond to an advocacy side. There are immediate things that we could all use help with. And my team, everyone who's a guest speaker, you're more than welcome to answer this question directly. The young people who are on, what do you what would you like to be hearing from or seeing from us as the Americans who are far away? I was really it was good that you reminded us of what policy used to look like, that there used to be support for the State Department visits, the exchange programs, the support for education programs, the micro scholarship programs. We haven't even been asking about that. It seems like the times have changed so much. What would you ask for in ways that people can support you in your efforts? And the young people in Gaza City, if you're still on, please go ahead. Talal and Tarek, go ahead.
Um, thank you, of course, for asking, and thank you for being actually concerned about us. But for me, I know that you being part of the peace negotiations and reconstruction negotiations is actually something hard to accomplish. But for me, something that would benefit me from the American people is having more of these sessions and having more of these dialogues. Just us talking to other youths and other decision makers about our ideas, our thoughts, our dreams, our hopes, and of course, redoing and making the scholarship programs and the micro scholarships programs actually is something that would really benefit people from Gaza, especially youths. Um, Scholarships and micro scholarships actually give the chance for youths to share their culture and their learning through these seminars and through these settings with people from their ages. I am Talal from Gaza, and I really, really have so much experience that would benefit other people, but I cannot just give it to others because I am here. And exchanging these experiences and skills is something that I always have dreamt of. So by starting with these discussions and these seminars is actually something that would really benefit us and would make life easier, actually.
Of course, like my brother said, having a platform that helps us to only to like mm, I don't know, to share our experiences, basically, our human experiences. We don't want anything that is like strictly political or strictly in search for aid or something like this. We are a bunch of humans. We here in Gaza are about 2 million people. If each one has a different experience and different opinions, different personality than the other, if we can achieve at least a platform through these sessions or any other sessions that you can maybe provide us only to speak up for ourselves, to share that we have so much experience, we have lived through so many things, good and bad, and we are still human. We had so much experience. So if we can have this platform or have the ability to share our voices, it will be basically magnificent for our benefit as people here in Gaza.
There's a lot of people with a lot of organization and community around them. So others, if you would like us, our help to schedule your own session, your own webinar with among your community, or ask some of your building lines to come out and be with you as you do this type of briefing, we'll make this happen. And great to hear Tarek and Talal about that. On your side, great that you're up for doing more of these. Let's
Course.
find a way to do more. Yazan, Roa, Lama, would you like to speak also? How would you want people to be responding? What do you think is important to you? If you could, I'll ask you to unmute. And it might pick up. And I saw that you were responding, so hopefully you can still hear me. Teachers, and Mrs. Najah. Oh, go ahead, please. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, we are having troubles with sounds on this.
Well, can you repeat the question, please?
It's what would you ask the people who are on the call? How would you like them? What can they do to help you? Like what would you like them to? What action can they take?
I'm so sorry, but can you see the question? Uh, the surrounding music is very distracting. It's distorting the voice.
Yeah, no problem. So, what action can people on this call take to help you? What would you like them to do in your experience in your life? Is there something you want that you could, what would you suggest to them?
Well, actually, the people in this voice, in this call, they are the one who determine the policy makers. So they can force the policy makers to uplift some of the siege because they are the one imposing it. When we are talking about America, America is creating the war. It's technically the biggest ally to Israel. If you want to have a constant peace,
to being able to reach out to policymakers to, bring to really reinforce how important peace is.
in America, in order to have it implement policymakers, their sectors. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just repeating what you
Can you
said.
repeat question again?
I think you know what the song.
You can speak now. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
So as I was mentioning, America is a democracy, and you can have require anything you want from your policymaker, and all we need over here is just uplifting the siege, giving us our dignity or human rights, in order to proceed in peace, in order to have conversation with the Israelis while not feeling that we're subhumans.
Thank you. I think you're very clear. So you're saying reach out to the policymakers, help them recognize your humanity, help them know that that human rights are needed. Go ahead. And this is the challenge of our communications. We are getting pretty close to the end of our half hour now. Nasreen, do you want to lead us toward the close of our event?
Yeah, we've gone a little over actually.
Okay.
But I first want to thank Rafiq, Naveen, Yazan, Lamar, Ro'a, Talal, Tariq, Mrs. Najah, and Maha, who joined us from Deir al-Balah, Khan Younis, and Al-Mawasi. We are so grateful for all of the things that you've shared with us, and we will do our best to bring that message forward to members of Congress. I thank you also to everyone who joined and to everyone who contacted their members of Congress. If you haven't yet, please send the Action Network email to your members of Congress. It really does make a difference. And your action today is one small but very concrete way of helping turn the voices that we heard today into advocacy. And thank you again for being here.
Really great to have everyone on from Gaza City and from Han Yunis and from Deir al-Balah. Great that we got the connection to work. Thank you everyone for your patience, for traveling so far to reach a place that had internet. Maha, thank you for turning on your camera inside your tent, and I'm always thankful that somehow there's internet there. And it's always good to hear each of your voices. Really important to hold on to our connection. We'll do our best to advance more of these connections, and to do that in communities. Constituents, you are a key. They're not going to listen to the young people from Gaza without you. They'll only listen because you invite them to do so. So we also can do a type of webinar with the member of Congress and you as constituents on the line. Lots of ways we can we can proceed. So much appreciated. Thank you everyone for joining the call. Teachers, would you like to say a closing remark? You're more than welcome. Maybe Naveen, go ahead and your closing remark, please.
I just want to say thank you so much for taking up the time and effort to be here with us tonight. For me, it's tonight. For you, today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the young men and women who joined the call here today from my team here in Gaza. Guys, you were amazing. I am so proud of you. I'm hoping that we could do more of these, briefings, and you get to raise your voices more and more and talk about your vision of peace to everyone. And for all of the guests that came here today, I hope you enjoyed and were inspired by the words of our youth leaders here in Gaza, and we'll be glad to be here more for you if you have any more questions or any more inquiries or any more comments, or would you like our youth speakers to be in more briefings like this, we'll be more than happy to join. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming here today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Mrs. Najah, would you like, I'm not sure she's still on. Can we tell team, if Mrs. Najah is on, please go ahead and give us your closing remarks. Maybe Maha, let's go ahead to you.
I think Mrs. Najah is going on. Thank you all. Thanks for joining us in this webinar, and I'm so honored that I'm a member of this webinar. I hope to receive our message and the kids' messages to reach that their voice for the Congress and for the whole world. We hope to just live in peace and stop war. This is the big message of from all kids here and all people in Gaza. I hope to have peace, inshallah, very soon. And thank you all. Thank you, Mrs. Donna. Thanks, Nisreen, and everyone.
Thank you so much for being on the line with us and for leading the activity with the young people and for bringing their voices forward to tell us what they were writing and what they were talking about with you. Much appreciated, Teacher Maha. Really great to be in your circle. Thank you, everyone who's on the line. We'll go ahead and close now, and I'm looking forward to staying in touch. We have been creating a Signal chat group that lets you share ideas with one another. So we'll be in touch and invite you into a Signal chat so that we can continue the discussion. And we'll be inviting you, of course, back to the webinar with the Congress staff. It really will rely on your inviting them. So we'll be in touch on all of that. Thank you, everyone. Really great to be in your circle.